Hi everyone, it's June Local, and this is unfortunately for some reason I can't get this to work. I don't know. Hopefully some people will join us, and unfortunately you're seeing way more of my desk than I had intended. Let me see if I can get this down a little bit. This might be better. All right, a little bit more zoomed in. All right. I know Matthew was kind of messing around with this, and I unfortunately um, didn't fix it as well as I thought I did. There. It's a little bit. All right. We'll try it. We'll try it. Well, I'm glad you're here. This is June Local, and I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Today is May 16th, 2023, which is crazy, isn't it? I am here to show you a few things about this. These two are exclusive sets, but I guess I'm kind of more zoomed in than I thought. These are exclusive sets available only while supplies last, and I wanted to show them because they're so cute. I just completely ran out of time. It's not the first time you've heard that, but I did. I almost forgot about this altogether today. So let's see. First of all, now I'll go back to it later. So I wanted to I had pictures. Rhinos are important to us, or at least a couple of us in our family. And I had to get this set because it was really cute. And a lot of things like "You're stronger than you think." I think that's a Winnie the Pooh quote. So, but I have a little story about that. These rhinos. And I'll tell you in a minute. But so we have Rhino Ready, and we have this is the new paper, Hello Irresistible. All right, and they're so pretty. Oh my gosh, I did not get the flower stamp set. Can't get everything, I'm sure you do. But these are great paper, and I thought, oh, I could totally use that. They look kind of jungly, right? I mean, which kind of would go with the rhinos. I mean, there's different kinds of rhinos live in different areas. And these are all patterns. And then we also have the other side, of course. So these are kind of cloud looking. And we even have some, I don't know, sunset kind of looking clouds. And then we have some with a pattern on them. This one looks almost like snow, but it's May. I'm not thinking about snow, thankfully. So, all right. And then we have these couple. So there's a few that have like different backgrounds, and they have green leaves, and some that have white leaves, same kind of patterns, but just a slight variation on them. So a lot of fun things. And I felt like those were really great colors, great patterns, very useful, and then to go with this. But like I said, these are online exclusives. They're not in the catalog. They're only while supplies last. So if you wanted to get these, you're gonna have to go online and get them. You can go to youcanstamp.com if you want. So all right, we have some people visiting us, and I'd love to say hi. So if you can comment, that helps me. It draws more people. Also, if you can like and subscribe, that would be awesome too. I do these every 2 weeks or so. And next week I'm doing a mystery card. I'm going to be posting that clue for tomorrow. So that just means you bring some of your own supplies, which I tell you, that's what the clue is the what to bring. And the cards come out all very different and yet the same design. So, but we'll do that together, and that's really fun. That's Monday night. So mark your calendars and check the website tomorrow, youcanstamp.com, and you can get the supply list. It's like what to cut, various paper, things like that for your card. And I don't try to get too complicated. So, all right. I'm sorry you didn't get to see me today. I actually took a shower so that I'd look decent, but I couldn't really get this camera thing to work. And this was more important. So, all right. So let's get started. The first card I want to do is really cute. And by the way, I was going to dig around and try to find the photos, but back when the kids were little, I mean, we were low on money. I got creative and I saw that there was an ad in the, what's it called? Newspaper. And it was Name the Baby Rhino. And then you could win tickets to the Cleveland Metro Park Zoo. So I did that. I went and got a baby book from the library and I found some Swahili names and I sent 4 postcards in and one of them was chosen. I was very excited. So the baby rhino was named Kibibi, which means a little pancake or something like sweet one or something like that, which is totally a great one for this. But so we went to see, ended up getting 4 adult tickets and we went to go see, we had to see the baby, right? And so there was a volunteer docent person there. And I, of course, got chatty and told the guy, hey, I named the baby. And they're like, would you like to meet her? We're like, oh, yeah, totally. So we made arrangements to meet again. And we brought James's sister and her kids. And we had we 4 little boys and grown-ups. And we got to feed the mama and pet the baby and the mama rhino. So it was really cool. So that's why this is near and dear to my heart. All right. So there's my story. And hopefully, even if you don't have a story, you'll appreciate this. All right. So here we have some colors. And man, I just still don't like this situation too much. I don't know. All right. I think it'll work though. All right. So this is one of the new old colors. Would that be right? Old, new colors? New, old colors. Okay. Pretty peacock. All right. And then here are 2 of the different patterns that I just showed you, cut down to 4 by 5 1/4 so that it just fits there. And then this one is 3 inches by 4 1/4. Okay. So I have these 2 very different well, they're not that different, are they? But this is the principle. This is contrast. All right. Because we have 2 different values. All right. So I think I'm going to do more of the elements and principles of art, trying to throw those in there and help teach you, because that's what I am. I'm a teacher. So I wanted to have this kind of frame, but yet the same colors, basically. The colors, by the way, are pretty peacock. And then this is soft seafoam. And I believe that this stuff in the middle would be considered Lost Lagoon, although it is not listed. All right. So then I'm also going to throw in a tad, just a touch of, what's it called? Calypso coral. So this is kind of a blue green. And if you had this, I should have the color wheel. I think I have one actually over here. My discontinued items. I might have to dig it out another time. So color wheel, we have colors that are similar or close to each other on the color wheel, called analogous colors. They blend very well. But then across the color wheel from green actually would be red. And so that's my kind of formula. We've got 2 that are next to each other and 1 that's across from one of them. All right. So that's one of my many tips for the day. So we're also, since I mentioned this is soft seafoam, all right, I'm going to use some soft seafoam for the background. Instead of going with white, I'm going to go with this color. So it kind of blends. No, not adding a lot of extra colors. This is such a light green, it's not going to matter. So I have a couple stamps, not that one, this one. All right. And where's the other one? Here. Okay, so I'm going to stamp these two, but I also want to add, I want them to have a little, what's it called? Party favor thing. What are these called? That blow, you blow on them and they go, woo. I don't know what they're called. You like my sound effects? For some reason, nobody's chatting. I don't know if I'm not seeing it or if you're just not talking, but oh, you are there. Okay. Hi. All right. Wonderful. I don't know what that was all about, but I just clicked on something. So must have been hiding. I don't know. All right. So yes, better late than never. I'll take whoever can come. You may or may not have been hoarding this paper. Yeah, I know. I actually used a lot of this paper. I'm using patterns on patterns, which is, some people are like kind of shy of patterns, and I'm going all in on this one. So here we're going to go with this Memento ink, and we're going to use a technique called masking. All right. So first of all, and sorry, I am shedding a bit. Hopefully you won't get any hairs in this, but it's very possible. Yep. See, I knew there'd be one. All right. So I'm stamping with that. All right. And then I'm going to stamp this one too. No, I'm just going to do a whole separate one because I did get paper out. Why not, right? All right, so these two cuties need to be blowing their little, does anyone know what the name of this is? I don't know what these are called, but they are kind of papery and they blow up. They make a noise. Noise maker? Would that be it? I don't know. So, all right, I moved stuff. Okay, so to do masking, basically what you do is stamp on, we have some masking, it's a product, masking paper, I believe it's called, in the catalog. And it's, I haven't used it because I just end up using Post-it notes. And there's pluses and cons about that one, but pluses and minuses. But basically what you do is stamp on a Post-it note and make sure you get on part of the sticky part of it. All right. And so then you stamp on that and then you cut it out. All right. And I've already cut this one. All right. So I've got this rhino and I only cut the part of it like the face would be. All right. You could cut the whole thing, but in this case, I just really wanted the mouth part. Okay. And put it right on top of it if you can. It helps. All right. So then, I already cut this one out too. So we got to put that on. All right. So those are my masks, my Post-it note masks. And then I have my party blowers. Okay. Thank you for Googling that. You are good for, you always help me with that kind of thing. I appreciate it. All right. So here we're going to be putting this on top, and it's basically, I want it to go over its mouth, but not a whole lot. All right. So, sorry. See how I did that? All right. So when I take this off, it looks like he's blowing the little party blower thing. All right. So let's do the same thing over here, except this time I was trying to figure out how to do that. I'm having it go off the side a little bit. All right. And then when I take that off, he's kind of going off the side. You can do it however you want, but that's how I did mine. Okay. So, next. Oh, darn it. I missed a step. So to fussy cut this, where'd my scissors go? I love these paper snips. They're awesome. And I I actually finished the whole thing and didn't put them together thinking I could just, you know what, I could do that. All right. You could cut it out first, or you can color it in. I'm going to color it in now that I think about it. So I am going to use blender pens on this one, or Stampin' Blends, I should say. Okay, so the ones I'm going to use are, I got my favorite gray, which is kind of a strange thing to say, right? Because who likes gray? But it's this warm gray called Granite Gray. Gray Granite, sorry. So I'm going to start, there comes with two. All right, we have a dark and a light. So I'm going to start with the dark one. And I'm going to kind of almost outline it. And wherever it would make sense to have a shadow, like under the chin, all right, or under the belly. All right, maybe this whole foot, because that's, the light wouldn't get there, right? This already has some little hash marks. So hatch marks, I should say. And so I'm going to do that along that edge, maybe back here, because that you could do under the eyes, maybe on anything when it looked like it should be rounded. You do around the outside edge. And then it's up to you if you want to do two more. You don't have to go too crazy with this, to be honest, because this lighter one's generally what does the work. All right, so I'm going to go over the whole thing. Now, there's more than one way to do anything. I bet there's other demonstrators that have different ways to do it, but I like to do this, and then I kind of try to do it relatively quickly so that it stays wet and there's no streaks. If you go to, and I'm going over even the parts that I already did with the other marker. All right. All right, so then where you can sort of still see a line, and I don't know if you can you see that? There's still kind of a line in certain places, although it's a lot more blended than it was. I can also add another layer, if you will, in between, like next to the darker part, but not over the whole thing. So, and the benefit too of doing it relatively quickly is you get done faster, right? All right, so places where there's a darker streak here where that darker marker was and all that. So I could put another little bit next to it, and it's sort of like dark, 2 layers of light and then light, if that makes sense. So that helps blend it. It gives you kind of a middle tone that helps it make even more blended, which is really, that's what makes these markers so worth it. All right. Because you can almost layer it. All right, so there's that one. And let's do, whoops, let me do the darker one. Or, you know what? I'm sure you don't want to be here all night, especially since I started a minute or two late. So we could do the Miracle of TV or Martha Stewart. By the way, did anybody see Martha Stewart? Oh my gosh, I went to the library today. Martha Stewart is on the cover of what's it called? Sports Illustrated in a bathing suit. I'm amazed. I really am. But that's the librarians were looking at that when I got there today. So I was like, yeah, that's a new one. So here the reason I'm bringing her up is because sometimes, you know how she puts in a casserole, she like mixes it all up, puts it in the oven, and then next thing you know, it's like no time has passed because she actually made 2 of them. And it comes out of the oven miraculously done. And I can do that. Probably should use the other end because now it's a little sticky here. Whoop. Yeah. All right, so these are permanent markers too, by the way. All right. So I'm going to pretend that I had all this time and fussy cut this out. And here I have, there's one and there's another one. All right. All right. So, wow, that was quick, right? So I'm going to put these right there, but I also need to do something with this. And that's one of the reasons I left this out. So by the way, I used Calypso Coral for the party blowers and the bird. And if you notice, there's three different things. So I'm using that rule of 3, odd number. Thirds is a little bit different, and I'm sort of using that one, although that's not the primary one here, because I have 2. All right, so this, I want to put the words. And the words I'm going to have are, hope your birthday is wild. And I think that, I purposely chose one of the more wild patterns for this very thing. So, all right, hope your birthday is wild. And I thought about some different things. Like you could do this and cut this and then make kind of crazy lettering, like not completely straight lined up. So it looks a little wild on the wild side, right? Or like I just wanted another element basically. So I'm going to cut to make my little flag tail thing. I cut up in the middle and I like these shallow ones better. All right. So there I have made a little banner tail. And I'm going to use, since I used gray granite for the rhinos, I'm going to use gray granite. What's it called? Baker's twine. And yes, I was like, I want to show them how it comes. This is a really great, it's a good value. Let's put it that way. It's a Baker's Twine Essentials pack, and it's got all sorts of neutrals, including gray granite. So maybe I can get it open, maybe not. Although I do have a little leftover. I had to get more because I ran out of black. But I still had some gray granite left from the other pack that I just had. So here it is. And now I'm going to wrap it around just enough that I can tie it. And then I'm going to cut it. Excuse me. Just had something in my throat there. All right. So I'm going to tie a double knot, and I'm going to have to probably trim this when it's all done. But and I'm holding it down. Oh, more hair. Holding it down with my ring finger. So that I can do all the rest of the stuff with my other fingers. All right. So then I can kind of curve that. I'm going to have the knot more over to the left. All right. So now I'm going to trim this down a tiny bit. And, well, kind of a lot, actually. Because what I want to actually do is make this fluffy. Because we're, again, being a little on the wild side here. So I'm going to kind of unwind that a little bit. Make it a little bit wild. Yeah, there we go. All right. you can make that more wild if you want to. But all right, so let's put this together. So I have Stampin' Seal and my silicone mat, which I think is super helpful when you are not wanting to get it on your table. So I'm going to put some of that on. And that's going to go here with an 1/8 of an inch border. Oh, hard to get the right angle. All right, and then we'll put this on. And we'll put that centered. All right, so then I put dimensionals on the back, and I actually had stamped incorrectly because the other way I tried doing it where I did the little thingy do first and then did the rhinos, and it didn't work. So I had to try it again. So that's why I've got all that junk on the back, but nobody can see it. So I put dimensionals on there, mini dimensionals, and they're going to go right here. And they are ready to party. And here I'm going to put that right there. So why don't I put that, I don't know, should I raise that up? I think I'm going to actually just put it down. All right. The bottom part might flare up a little bit. That's okay. All right. So here's where you could do the rule of thirds, where we got 3 this way and 3 lines this way. And then where they would crisscross would be where to put the focal point. And so there is a lot of contrast here because of the colors, the complementary colors. Remember, green and red are complementary, so they make each other look good. You could think of it that way. And so if I divided that into thirds, that might be one way to look at it. And then we're going to put this in the jungle here. All righty. So yeah, did you see that? A plunging neckline bathing suit? She looks great for her age, though. I'll give you that. That, or there was a lot of photoshopping involved, and I hope that's not the case. All right. So more power to her. Nobody'd want me on the cover, that's for sure. So, all right, here we go. So, by the way, I have it going off. It's breaking the picture plane here, which gives us a little bit of interest. All right. You're kind of like, oh, there's something going on here. There's what's going off the edge there. So there you have it. My first card using Rhino Ready and the Hello Irresistible paper. All right, so I'm going to put that aside. I'm going to show you another card. All right, so this one's using the other rhino. There's 3 very cute rhinos on there. We've used these 2, and then we have that one. So where is it? Here. This one seemed a little bit sad or thoughtful or something. It's stopping. It's like not sure, maybe, right? So I'm going to, some of the words that were on here, it could be, you're built tough. You're stronger than you think. I mean, rhinos are known for being tough. By the way, when we pet that rhino, it was the softest. We pet mostly around the mouth, the chin, and that area. Oh my gosh, it was like rose petals. It was so soft. Very surprising. I'm sure other parts of it it's a tough hide, but it was surprisingly soft considering it was such a tough animal. So I was trying to think what words we could use here, but so I decided to use you're stronger than you think. But honestly, any of these, even hello friend would work, because I'm going to put this little bird in there. Now I was going to put this little bird, but I didn't like the way that it was facing. I wanted to be facing this direction. So I'm like, okay, well, we'll use that one. So I'm using a method called paper piecing. You might have heard of this before. All right, so here's a piece of cardstock, and excuse me, where's my black pad here? So I'm going to stamp this one that's just sitting there bewildered, or I don't know what, just sitting there looking at us. And then I also I'm going to actually stamp, I want this horn to be sticking off, so, or like popping off. So I'm actually going to use all my paper very wisely, as one should, right? And I'm going to only stamp on top of the horn. Okay, whoop. So in a way, this is paper piecing as well. And actually the last card has a lot of paper piecing. Blech. I wasn't sure. There's so many different techniques that you could use. And I'm like, I guess so. So, oh, one more thing. I need to do the bird. All right. So the bird was on the other stamp. This one. Okay. So I'm going to stamp over the bird, and then I'm going to press this piece of also patterned. All right, so now I have a little bird, and I didn't waste any very much paper or anything cutting it out. All right, so basically, so these are going to be cut out. I have done cards like this before. This is not a new technique, but I did want to show you. So, all right, I used Stampin' Blends on the last one, so I'm going to use my aqua painter, or my, sorry, water painter. Oh my goodness, I'm almost out of water, so hopefully I have enough. We're going to use a different shade of gray for this one. And this one will be Smoky Slate. Okay, so I like to bounce it. I like squeeze that and get some ink on the lid. And then take some onto your paintbrush and put it on the parts that are the darkest. And then don't lift your brush up until it's like you're cleaning your brush, but don't lift it up until you're out of color. All right. And then do that again, wherever there'd be like the darker parts, and just keep on going without lifting up here. See how nice and smooth that did? I've been trying to, perfect my technique. There are other things that you should know about watercolors, but a big one is controlling the water. And I found, actually just kind of by accident, that if I don't lift my brush up and just keep moving it, it usually has the look that I'm going for. So kind of like the other one where I put the darkest colors on the outside, I would do the same. And fortunately, this one doesn't have a lot of different colors. I just want this to be basically gray. So if I had a lot of other colors, you would have to think about the order you do it and let it dry in between, because unless you want it to be all goopy gloppy inside in between, you would not, you would want them to be dry before, so they don't touch and they don't blend by accident. All right, so there is my very cute rhino with it looking kind of rounded, hopefully. And you could do the horn here as well. You don't have to do the horn on this one because it's going to be covered by this horn. All right, so all right, and then this bird is already pink or coral, calypso coral. So now I just need to cut them out, and I'm going to pull a Martha Stewart again. All right, so here, where are my pieces? Here are my pieces. All right, so here is my little bird, and here is my horn, and that's going to go on top. All right, now I didn't end up putting an entire dimensional. I ended up putting, I'm going to use a glue dot. What I used didn't really work as well as I was hoping, so I'm going to put a glue dot. All right, just at the bottom, the main part there. All right, I'm going to put that on, but I didn't put it over the other part of the horn because what I'm going to end up doing is put that kind of, I don't want to cover up the eye, but I also want the bird to show. And I didn't include the legs, so I know I overthought this a bit. Where's my glue? So I'm going to glue this because I want the horn to stand out a little bit more than the bird. Plus, this bird is so tiny, so I'm actually going to put glue where it's going, okay? Glue where it's going. And then I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool and pick that up, and then I'll put that right where I want it. Okay, so now it kind of, hopefully it looks like this little bird is maybe snuggling with the rhino, all right, or at least talking to it. All right, so then we need to have background for this one. So let's use another kind of this stuff. I'm going to use, where'd you go? A 3x3 square of this kind of dark and stormy, cloudy look. Okay. Now this stamp set comes with grass as well. So I thought I'm going to use this color, Pretty Peacock, and go over the stormy part. Okay. So I'm going to have to do it in a couple different, oof, that didn't come out very. All right, that's a little bit better. And then here, oops. That's not a wet paper towel, it's just a dry one. But all right, so now I'm going to add, I'm going to pounce this, get some on the lid, use my aqua painter, my water painter, and just make my grass a little bit more solid looking. And honestly, I could not even follow the lines. No one would probably even know. Yeah, actually, I like the look of that. All right, but I also I need some kind of horizontal look here. All right, and being that it's Pretty Peacock on top of Pretty Peacock, it's okay. And then it's also going to get covered up. So, all right. Okay, so there I have that. I think I'm done with Pretty Peacock now. Now, I wanted a little bit of a border to help strengthen that up, and I just realized I did not cut that. So here's my back. No, I don't have a background. So I could use this to cut. Or actually, I think I have some. Do I have some size? Nope. Yep, I do. All right, so here's a piece that's more the right size. So let's see. This is 3x3, so I'm going to do 3 1/8 by 3 1/8. Just pretty close to what I had. and then 3 1/8. All right. So since this is kind of curling up a little bit, I think it's going to be helpful to have a little something. Of course, once it's dry, it would probably be, whoa, I think I'm out. Yep. So in case you've ever seen this, you can take this off and this comes out. And then we need to open this up. It has a little seal. Makes sense. It's called Stampin' Seal. And in no time, look at this. Ta-da. All right, and then, so don't need that anymore. And then where's the top? Here is the top. All right, and let's keep going. Oh, let's see a little further. Okay, so we have a little 1/16 of an inch border. Kind of could be a little bit better. I think I'm going to trim this down because it's like just a hair wider. Of course, you know me, I'm a perfectionist, really. All right, so there I have a little bitty border around with some grass, and now I can put this very cute rhino here. But of course I need to pop it up. It does, there's lots of contrast, which is great, but it still needs to seem closer, right? So now I'm not going to put them completely toward the bottom because I'm actually going to put a little bit of a line to be almost like the horizon, but the grass. So I might hold off on that. And so I came up with another little cute technique, and I just realized I did not cut the paper for that either. And so that's using black, and it's kind of a frame, like a shortcut frame, cheater frame. All right, so what I actually want is 1/8 of an inch on both sides. So this is already 3 1/8, and I want to add 2 more eighths, so that's 3 3/8. Did you follow my logic, I hope? 3 3/8. So I'm going to do 2 of these. 1, and then 3 3/8. All right, so then I should be able to, I'm going to crisscross this on the back, and then there'll be a little, like 1/8 sticking out on either side. All right, and then this will go above it like that. All right, so let's put some adhesive. Hold on, gotta get it started. Come on, you were just working. All right. And there. All right, so I'm trying to make this and that be the same amount with about 1/8 of an inch. Oh, not even on the screen. Sorry about that. Okay, and then we'll put, oh, it's a little bit. Oh, well, it's close. More on one side than the other. But I don't think I could get it off now. Probably I'll be the only one that notices that significantly anyway. So, all right. right, so making kind of even on all these, if you can. All right. So there you have it. That, anyway. All right. So then I was like, okay, so I want this gray of the Rhino, and that's going to be part of my balance. Okay. And then, but then I have this, and then I thought, oh, he almost looks like he's in a swamp, kind of a rainy swamp. And then that bird stands out, which isn't a bad thing. You could leave it here. This isn't bad, but it's kind of dreary. And I wanted to offer a little bit of hope. That's the point of this card, right? So I got some of this. Now I know the flowers are bigger than the Rhino, but I still think this will look awesome. So I have made this 4 inches. Actually, because this had the 1/16 of an inch border, I actually made this one 4 1/8 by 5 and what would be 5 3/8, I think. So that it's just going to have a real tiny border of the gray. Is it going gray? What is that called? Smoky slate. Sorry, that's going gray is a different one. But when you open it, you'll have that will still coordinate with the thing. Okay. All right. So we could. Oh, I wanted to do one more thing with that. So that's the reason I got this new pack. Excuse me. I need the black out of that. All right. So here we have. Black goes fast for me, anyway. All right. So I'm going to make a little bit of a horizon line, kind of where the grass meets, but also where the bottom of the black strip, my shortcut kind of thing. You know what? I'm going to make this tail a tiny bit longer. All right. So I'm going to tie this in a double knot and then tie a bow. But of course, more than one way to do that. So that makes it nice and tight though. All right. So then I'll wrap that. Yep. All right, and then if I can pick it up. So I have this little bow down here in the bottom left-hand corner. All right, looking sweet. And you could pop that up. This is going to be popped up too. So it depends on how high you want your card. Although I do like whenever there is some kind of string or ribbon, I do like just giving it some space. And I don't know where I put my mini ones, but I'm just going to do one of these. Or not one, but like the bigger ones here. And how about that? You want to have some support for both layers if you're doing both 2 layers of dimensionals, I guess. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to do this toward the top and then some flowers will show. Oh my goodness. Oh, I did it again. All right, I'm going to put that on here. I want to put the words, for darn sakes. So, you're stronger than you think. hopefully it's not too late. I did put dimensionals on there, so it's going to be. All right, so let's see. I wanted to put that right here. All right, tiny bit crooked, but could be worse. All right, since it is the silicone mat, it did not stick to it, even though I took the backs off those. All right, so at least I caught that before I stuck it on, right? All right, and let's put this rhino on. You be careful of that tail. The rhino and the bird. So, oh my goodness, I don't really have time to show you this last one. Maybe, you know what? I won't show you. I'll just have these two, and then I will use that one for one of my posts, because I really do want to put more content, more creative content, I should say, not just my information about what's going on, which is also important, but okay, so there we have it. Here are two clean up my space. In my weird, yeah, it like slowly traveled, didn't it? Oh, goodness. Okay, so here are my two cards. And by the way, here is the latest host code. If you are interested in ordering anything, you can go directly there from my website, youcanstamp.com. In the upper right-hand corner is a picture of colored pencils, and it says, it's kind of like a portal to my store. But if you're ordering under $150, use this host code, because that gives me credit. It kind of lumps a bunch of orders together, and that helps me afford more things that we can demonstrate. And I really love doing that. So I hope that, it doesn't cost you anything if you're going to order anyway. So that's always a big help. So yeah, I have these cute cards. I hope you like them. I do. I used all this very pretty paper, and remember, these are not available for too long, so that's why I had to demonstrate them right away. So yeah, the other thing I wanted also, that's kind of a time thing that you might want to consider, is this is the latest. It's called Welcome In Paper Pumpkin Kit. This has an add-on. And I really love this, because you could do this with any striped paper. You could make a vase. Can you see that? All right, you could do that with any striped paper. But this also coordinates with a suite that we have, one of the new ones called Countryside Inn Suite. The whole suite is not available at the moment. The embossing folder is not available. I looked it up. So this embossing folder, which is a very nice one, but the bundle is available, the dies and the stamp set and the paper, those are all available still. And I have links to that online. I'm pretty sure that posted already. So this is available now. Here's another picture of what you can do with it, and using different colors and different things. So this is available now until May, and I'm sorry, this is May 11th through June 10th. Okay, and you get, with this one, it's going to be 9 cards, 3 designs, 9 envelopes, Night of Navy Stampin' Spot, the photopolymer stamping set, and embellishments, and the detailed vase and banner die cuts. But like I said, you can order this. This is only $6, these dies, and then all of these different things also go with that, with your the stamp set that comes with this paper pumpkin kit. So it's just a lot of coordination. It's one of the strengths of Stampin' Up. But I did want to point that out, because this is so cute. I think I want to get it myself. I hope they don't run out too quick. So anyway, thank you for joining me. I really appreciate you being here. And if you're watching this on the replay, hopefully if it's recent, you can still take advantage of things if you want. Again, go to youcanstamp.com and be sure to like and subscribe to this channel, but also sign up for my notifications on my website, because all that really helps. I'm competing against some real big names, and it's really difficult. I'll never get there without a little more work. So thank you again, and have a wonderful night, and see you again hopefully Monday. All right, thanks. Bye.